All right, let's get into a story about some serious corporate arrogance and the sweet, sweet taste of accountability. This is a huge cautionary tale about underestimating that quiet person in the room, especially when they're the one who built the whole system you think you're in charge of.
This one sentence, this is the spark that lights the whole forest fire. It's just this moment of pure, uncut arrogance from a boss who has absolutely no clue that the guy he's firing isn't just another employee. He's the architect of the entire operation. So, how did we get here? To really understand the revenge, you first got to understand the loyalty that was betrayed. See, this wasn't about some random disgruntled employee. This was about a pillar of the company getting knocked down for the absolute worst reason.
So this timeline shows a 12-year career at Apex Logistics, right? But this guy didn't just punch a clock. He starts as an analyst. By year 8, he's using his own military training to completely overhaul their safety protocols after a near disaster. And by year 10, he had personally built the accountability system the company needed to pass its audits. He wasn't just another name on the payroll.
And this right here, this gets to the heart of it. He was the guy they called when audits were failing, when the systems crashed. Basically, when something went sideways that nobody else could fix. He was completely woven into the company's operational DNA, and he really thought he was part of the Apex family.
And this is where it all starts to go wrong. Enter the new COO, a guy named Marcus. He saw the company not as a family, but as his own personal piggy bank. He couldn't care less about safety protocols. He cared about one thing, his massive 7-figure bonus.
So our guy gets called into this cold, sterile boardroom. No thank you for 12 years, no severance package, just a security escort straight to the door. The official story was some corporate nonsense about restructuring for a new vision. But the real story? It was a cover-up for straight-up theft.
Now here is the huge, fatal mistake Marcus made. In his total arrogance, he never thought to revoke the encrypted, top-level access of the one man who built the entire system. He basically handed the master key to the person he just stabbed in the back. So, from home, our hero logs in and sees everything.
And what a truth it was. $4 million. Not reinvested in the company, no. It was funneled into Marcus's personal offshore accounts. He wasn't restructuring to save Apex. He was gutting it to make himself rich.
But here's where it gets really disgusting. This wasn't a victimless crime. To pay for that $4 million theft, Marcus slashed the health benefits of 500 employees. 500 families had their security ripped away so one guy could get a fat bonus. He thought he was some kind of genius, but really, he was just a common thief who left a digital trail a mile long.
Now, our protagonist could have gone to HR. He could have leaked it all to the press, but he didn't. Nah, he chose a different path, one that was way more precise and way more public. He decided to wait for the perfect stage, the annual shareholder meeting. He had a plan, a protocol. It was methodical, it was cold, and it was calculated. He was going to wait for Marcus to get up on that stage, bragging to the board about efficiency gains. Then, using that access Marcus never took away, he was going to hijack every single screen in the building and trigger the very accountability system he had built.
This is the moment of reckoning. The stage is set. Marcus is up there, basking in the spotlight, completely clueless that his entire world is about to be dismantled, bite by bite, in front of every single person he's trying to impress. And then, it begins. As Marcus is talking, the screens behind him just flicker. And suddenly, they're not showing corporate logos anymore. Oh no, they're scrolling his private bank statements for everyone in the room to see. Then, the data stream changes. Now it's the offshore account transfers, the undeniable proof of where the company's money, the money from all those slashed health benefits, was really going. It was a digital receipt of his crime, broadcast in high def. And for the final blow, the most damning piece of evidence pops up. His own words. Emails where he's joking with other executives about gutting the staff to make his numbers look good. The pure contempt he had for his own employees just laid bare for the entire world. And our guy wasn't even in the room. He was watching the whole thing unfold through the building's own security cameras. He said he saw the exact moment that smug confidence on Marcus's face just melted away and was replaced by the ghost white panic of a man who knows he's been caught. The silence in that room, he said, was absolutely deafening. So yeah, Marcus tried to run, but it was way too late. The damage was done, the consequences were already rolling. He thought he was unmasking an unnecessary employee, but what he really did was unmask himself as a criminal. So what was the price for all that greed and arrogance? 15 years. That's the prison sentence he is now facing for corporate fraud. He didn't just lose a bonus, he lost his freedom.
The fallout was immediate. Federal agents, probably tipped off anonymously, were literally waiting at the exits to arrest Marcus right there at the meeting. The board, in full-on damage control, immediately restored all 500 employees' health benefits. And then, in this beautiful moment of irony, they offered our protagonist his old job back. He, of course, told them no.
He took his family and moved to a quiet cabin out by a lake. And his final thought on the whole thing really says it all. Justice might not be fast, and it might not always be loud, but when it finally shows up, it is absolute.
So that leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to chew on, right? When you're faced with that level of betrayal, what do you do? Do you just walk away and start over? Or do you use the keys you're holding to burn the whole thing down? It's a powerful choice.